Hey, we're back. What are we gonna do? Well, you can see it. I zoomed out. There we are. That is a very, very old photo. Actually, let's be accurate. It's a reproduction on a modern digital screen of a scan of a very old photo. And not only that, oh, you know what? I'm not gonna pick on that. Excuse me, though. I will make a cup of tea. Please excuse me. Please, pardon me. So, the original reference was super yellow, which I really liked, but I don't feel like going that yellow, so I've modified it, I've corrected it. I've done a lot to it, actually. But it's all grist for the mill, though. And one thing, you know, I think is interesting, I wouldn't like normally do is like these things here. These are like from a tree that's in the foreground. But compositionally, I really like how they work with this. So we'll see how we deal with that. Also, there's some figures here. Yeah, I might do them, I might not, I don't really care. I'm not that into figures in my landscape. So, anyway, that's where we're at. And cleaned our palette. You know, some people like just keep their palette. Actually, it's the cleanest I've ever got it since it was new. Yeah, there's still some little crud on there and stuff, but it's okay. It's been really clean. I took a scouring pad to it and did a number, so. And I was considering doing the smaller palette, but you know, this is clean and we're gonna use it. So this is a limited palette, very limited. Now, one thing is on this palette, I'll get some blue tack. Actually, it might be a little duller. I don't have the light on either, so that's good for you. I got only one ochre right now, and I want two, so because there's a lot of ochre in this, I could see having that flexibility as being a real advantage. The ochre, and I'll run you through all the colors of my palette because I realize that you're curious, you want to know. If you do have questions, you can ask in the comments. I'll get back to everyone. If you've been with me any time at all, you know that. Just make a little room here. It's so funny after cleaning up a palette like this. You want to keep it clean. It's gonna get mucky. All right, it's up there. I still have a bit of this Daler Rowney left, and I won't get every bit out of this tube I can. I've had this tube for probably a couple years now. See, completely different color. Not completely different. They're still both clearly ochre, but this is the old Holland ochre. This is a Daler Rowney ochre. That's some cad yellow. We'll be using some of that too. I guess now's a good time to take you through this. So I won't be able to mix at that angle. Oh, it's kind of reflective, but yeah, I'd move the camera around a lot, but I have the camera all centered on the painting. We'll leave it like that if it's okay with you. So, what's on this palette? Yeah, hopefully you're enjoying the live format. It's, you know, it's pretty much like being here. So, if you want to learn how to paint, or you know, I know something about painting. I'm not going to say I'm a genius or I know everything about it, but I know a thing or two. I've worked hard at it for years now, so I don't mind pass on some info to you. I do have a website though, and you can follow I have a blog there. I haven't really been keeping a lot of this stuff up on it, but check out the blog, check out my store. I have paintings on my store. They're affordable, and yeah, if you're a collector, you should pick one up. Anyway, let's make, oh, no, I'm going to take you through. So, this is the Williamsburg lead white. Just the only lead white. Yeah, it works good. It's much thicker than that Rubelith. Cad Yellow. Old Holland Deep Yellow Ochre. De La Rowney. Doesn't say light yellow ochre, just regular yellow ochre. You can get paler yellow ochre. This is transparent earth yellow. Probably won't be using a ton of that. This is raw umber. We will be using a lot of that. Mike's green. We don't need it. That just makes up a big bunch of it though. So we better do a green painting soon. Permanent orange light. How do you like that tapping noise? Is that good? Burn umber. I've moved my palette around now, so burn umber has a place. I have been just kind of shoehorning it in. Pyroline red, won't need any of that today. Transparent earth red, also probably won't need much today because this is not in a red, it's more of a greeny. Alizarin crimson, you never know, candy color to have. Phthalo green, this is just the... so if I have just tiny bits of color, a lot of times it's because I don't see any reason to load up, you know, because this is going to be an earth palette today anyway, but I'll run you through it. The permanent green light. Dioxine purple from Gamblin. Gamblin. Mike's green, no. That's raw umbers from De La Rowney. I'm curious, maybe one day to try the Gamblin version. It's all good. Cobalt blue, phthalo blue, Gamblin, and then not Gamblin is this quick dry black because their fast made black doesn't work for me. So I have to use the Griffin. I think it's Griffin brand from the Windsor Newton, which is the Alcoid black, because very slow dryer. This is Mike's gray. It's a combination of titanium white and ivory black. Yes, so there you go. Now, I'll zoom back out. Okay. Oh, wait. I just want you to see the image. Now, keep in mind some things are a little more blown out here. The camera's doing a lot of focusing on a lot of different things, so... and this is just sort of a start for me. It's just a place I'm going to start. I don't care about matching this, you know. I don't care at all. It has things about it I like, and then things about it that I think are questionable, but all in all, pardon me. I know, how rude. That's so rude. I'm sorry. Just pretend you were in the room with me. You would overlook it. You are in the room with me. That's how I'm treating this. Okay. So, I had this board, you know, and I had some leftover thing from something we were doing the other day. I think it was tinting a frame. So I just rubbed some more in there. This board actually was a yellow ochre board, but I don't really want to paint a yellow ochre for this. So this tone will be okay. It's a little reddish. We might start off with, we tried that the other day. Actually, I'll leave the light off because I know you're going to get a glare. So let's do a little basic quick color mixing. So main color, there's a ton of that. And I'm kind of thinking of leaving it sort of flat. Maybe a little lighter towards where the bottom of the sky is. So let's just grab a giant chunk of this. We're going to need a lot of it. That might be temptation to mix the two ochres together. I feel that'd be a waste. Ochre on its own has a bit of a greenish cast. It's like when I add this, the two together, it's too mono. It is lacking in depth. So we're going to add some of this. So if your colors, you know, you want your colors a little muddy, a little dirty. You don't want them lacking in depth. And whoa, hey. I'm going to add a note of black, which is going to bring out some of the greener properties of this mixture. Yeah. Okay. Oh, sorry for the traffic noise. You've got a major little traffic intersection out the window. More of this. See? subtly greenish, and this definitely the way it's set up, it's straddling that area right in between green and red. I like that as a good start, though. We'll mix other things in with it. It's very difficult for me. I don't like painting just one big expanse of everything the same. I don't know why I mix that way up there. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Because everything's messing up my clean palette today, isn't it? And I could be working on smaller palette. I feel a little cramped there, though, so... Main color, and you could think, well, that's not even close, but yeah, trust me, a little white, it'd be right there. So I don't need to mix every color in this, because let's face it, it's practically black and white with the tint. So I'm very intuitive, and so some of the times I can always explain why I make a decision, but things pop into my head is the best way I can put it. I'm going to need a lot more black. Since I've started videotaping the live process, I noticed I have a tendency to throw things around. I didn't even realize I was flinging things around. Okay. Our darkest dark is actually black. That's how I feel. That's what I'm going to do. I need a ton of it here, though. I'll just put some there. And then I think we're going to mix into black. So the color you start with is very important. You're mixing into, if I was mixing into umber, then I like that. The thing is about this is that it's clean, but I want some mud. Honestly, I'm going to grab a little of this. Basically, it'd be the same thing as adding a little bit of this cad yellow in there. Yeah, and that's giving me that note of complexity. And keep in mind too, I've already got my black. It's black, so I'm going to bring in some of this ochre too here. Yeah, I like that. That's my second real dark. I like it. And then there's only a third color we need to do, and this will be the this nibbley tone. I think I'm just going to need a giant, massive amount of raw umber. Raw umber is going to be, the burnt umber has got a bit more red in it. I'm not saying I won't hit it, but you can see where I'm going to hit things because I just told you we're all in here. We're all in here. We don't even need it except the black. We need you, black. Please don't do this. Okay, so what happens with this is just raw umber. Raw umber. I know I do that too. And let's try some of this. That's a richer. And some of this gray, which is basically just black and white. Yeah, that's nice. That's almost cool, but that's definitely nice. I like that. I think I might need, maybe I'll do one more step. Not that I really need it, but just for giggles. Because there's got to be a place where this meets that, right? So that. I like what happened with the gray so much. I'm going to do more of that. That's probably that place where they're going to meet. More of that. There's white in the gray. See, I like this. I don't need a ton of it though. I'm thinking one day you can put in some requests if you like. Landscapes. Andre requested Crow. We did the Crow. I reserve the right to say hell no, but whatever, you know. That worked out because I had a bit of Crow reference around that I was wanting to do. I'm going to be putting that up tonight for you. This is me finishing the Crow study that you maybe saw the video of a few days back. There we go. Nice. Alright. So, pretty good. This would be a good natural break point. So let's say you had to take the kids out, do something like that. Whatever. You could mix your paints, and then when you come back, you've got to get into it. As it stands, I'm going to be able to just roll right in. So we have our medium. This is the chunky, thick, sludgy medium that is archival oils. Normally has a consistency of linseed oil. It's like oil, but I put some mineral spirits in there and it's kept it from actually drying 100%. It will work. In fact, it has a consistency a lot like liquid right now, so it'll work. I'm going to use it. And we're going to draw with black. And I think we're ready to start. Are we ready to start? Yes, I think we are. I'm going to zoom in a bit, but I won't zoom in tight so that when I hold up the palette you can see what's happening, okay? So, I call it drawing. You might call it underpainting. Doesn't really matter what we call it because it's an activity that we're doing. So some of this oil, we gotta break it up. It's got chunks. Ultimately, those chunks won't matter much. Maybe they will. I'm pushing. They keep breaking up. The more I know, there's cheap and then there's super cheap. You know what? I'm bailing on this oil. I don't like it. It's too sludgy. I've made an executive decision. I'm gonna wipe that out. Too sludgy. Not worth it. I was able to milk this for a few days though, so I feel good about that. Okay, this is okay. Something I got to deal with. I'll be right back. And we're back. Well, that took a little while because. Okay, Archival Oils brand. I have had to clean the jar out because I decant into a larger. You don't want too much of this stuff around. This could have even been a full new bottle sometimes, and you can only decant into this for a little while before. So I've had to take time. I had to pour mineral spirits in there and clean it out because once it starts getting that jelly thing, anything you add to it will start going to jelly as well. So. This is how it should be looking. Like oil. Nice. Yeah, I don't need this little beads or whatever. So, oh yeah, just like it's fellow, archival medium, liquid, not archival, alkaloid. Those, you don't want to buy too big a quantity at once because you dry them. Okay, we're ready to draw now. Got some oil. Go into the oil. Ooh, that's more like it. Hi, how you doing?
Hi there, you got some real collectibles.
Yeah.
Oh,
Shush.
One of the bats too.
Yeah. I don't like the barking at people. I don't like it. Yeah, it's okay. Good boy. You can go say hi if you want. Go on. Yeah, no barking. Sorry, Danny gets a little black. We're drawing with black. Could draw with ochre too, but So a lot of times, a situation like this, I like to start with dividing, and I like to break this rule where we just it says don't divide it in half. So I'm going to divide right in half. Too much oil on the brush. Wipe it off. It's clear now. Definitely doesn't go the whole length of the painting to there, but over here actually wasn't that straight in my original reference. I've imposed some straightness. Okay, I'm gonna take my glasses off. You're a good boy. You're all right. You're all right. Yeah, and big triangles. Sometimes they'll do things to just take away from the. It's much straighter in the reference, but they'll do things to take away from the extreme. Diagonals. Yeah. Trying to get this shape right. Every day you're different. Every day you have varying degrees of awareness and consciousness. So something that might go real easy one day, the next could be a bloody challenge. I feel like today's going to go pretty good. Usually I don't like buildings, but this shape is going to be working out nice. And I'm kind of working out from the negatives. It looks like I've made it a little big, but a little bit. Doesn't really matter. It's going to be kind of faded. It's alright. The point is to make the, you know what, this is black. It's all black. And it looks like I'm actually working with the number. I got these real strong tree diagonal bed. I'm gonna hold off, and a bunch of other buildings here, which I'm not interested in. Not interested in. I just go make them trees instead. Check out how far back I am on this brush. Pure oil. Can't be a note or too darker though. I'm interested in not feeling flat right now. And this will be much darker in a minute. I'm going to use a bigger brush too. I'm liking it. I'm going to get our brush size up. Number 4. Robert Simmons. It was a flat. Now it looks like a bright flat. This is not even that much color. It's really just mostly oil. Totally smooth board here. Like that. Now I don't know if it's possible to go a shade lighter. It should be, because there's a ridge back here, but it doesn't really matter because we're gonna go opaque anyway. But this is like pure oil. There does need to be a few trees here, just interrupting things. We want to avoid a pure slant, but it is, we know, going to progress with perspective. So like that. Putting an emphasis on the silhouette here, just for my own purposes. Like I said, that was going to be building. We're going to make a tree because too many little buildings is not my style. I like it. Like that. So this is black and oil on my mostly umbery, light umbery primed board. And it looks like these antiques people are leaving, and they're leaving. That's fine. Okay, so before I get to whatever here, it's time to get our verticals in. Going into the oil, going into the black. Still not tons of. Well, I'm not that worried about it. I don't mind how dark it is, and this is almost just this total straight line. So much so that I'm going to spare myself a break here. Now, I don't want to make this razor sharp, but as a guideline, it can be very handy. that. We're working up to it. I didn't get too jiggy or too worried about stuff here. There's another tree. And don't worry, a lot of this is going to disappear. Kind of a road here. This is the brush up against the road. Another branch here. And we need to make sure that my next deal doesn't meet up at this point. That's super important. I'm gonna get too jiggy with the things there, and I can see a place here where you can't completely erase. You don't really need to. You just need to. That's enough of that. That's you'll see me do that a few times now. But until I lay in my sky. It's not a big deal. Okay, and time to get this a little darker. So, do I know what I'm doing? Good question. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't. Either way, I figure I'll get something done. So, why do I say that? Well, because I'm thinking, well, this is really pretty. It's all transparent. Almost like a watercolor effect. It's just oil and watercolor. I mean, oil and oil paint. Very thin. And these things can take on a real attractive quality. some trees and things there. Bushes, fake stuff here. There's a, in the reference, a bit of a darker ridge here. We don't need to introduce that harshness. Don't be harsh, man. Just relax, man. Wipe off the brush. Back into the oil, because I want to finish this off. Like that. Like it. Differing from the reference here a bit, but it's okay. That's a lot of the reason why we're doing this drawing stage, is to figure things out without having, like, everything here is transparent. We do have the ability to sort of erase. I'm liking this, I'm liking that, I'm liking this, I'm liking that, and then this needs just more complexity and about the same value. I fall in love with too much of anything at this stage. Oil, you need movement, you need oil. That's a bit darker than I wanted to go back there. I think I'm just going to go right off the edge there and simplify. Always be looking for opportunities to simplify things. Don't worry about that photo reference. That photo was just a jumping off point. We're not here to copy photos. What do you mean? You came here to copy photos? No, you need to go to the other room. Channel next door. Okay. This is kind of getting how I want things, so... See how I built things up. I work things out. I'm sort of pre-figuring out where the compromises are going to be in this painting, because there's always compromises in every painting. You can't just copy the photo. You need to design it. You need to be a designer, like God's a designer. Okay? I mean, whatever God you're into, you gotta design. A little more black. This is really some of the darkest area in this painting is going to be right here, and not the darkest here, but So you're painting vague stuff, you say. You don't know what you're painting. Well, keep it vague. I think we said that yesterday. Keep it vague. Alright. Now, this is a place sometimes I miss the texture because I could just do the run like I just did and I would have got something different. But I did the texture so long. I'm actually really enjoying working on smooth now. Not going to put anything in there. And this road is going to have kind of southern middle tone. There's a bunch of tree stuff going on here. I ain't gonna do it. And there's another tree thing going on here. Because you have light and mid-CM beam. I do like the way it divides the space. However, I'm gonna do it. Okay, I won't go all the way up the top though. And keeping in mind that I gotta paint a bunch of sky in there, so some of that, a lot of that might be done in the second pass, because you don't want to leave too much. Yeah, I do like that. I do. I feel like if we do that though, we need to have a connector here. That's not in the reference, but it makes sense to me. Well, at least it's easy to try. There's a lot of crazy tree stuff going on here, but like, I'm just gonna ghost it in right now. It's pretty interesting tree stuff. It'd be cool. Let the painting be. In fact, I mean, it's looking pretty nice right now, just the way it is. Yeah, I don't know whether they call it the music on this, because I don't want to pay. I'm not gonna swear either. I don't want to pay the guy that's doing this song right now. I don't want to pay his estate anything. Okay, so we had a tree here. I was trying to do it with dark, but I mean, you can't have dark on top of dark. It's too subtle. So I'm thinking that the way to do this tree is like lighter. And I think that will work. I do. We're not going to get tweaky here because we're going to have to put a bunch of paint in there. So. Setting things, setting them up, knocking them down. Drawing is done. Yeah, well, you notice that when I say something's done, it's never done. Did you notice that already? I just want this all one flat thing. I got just when I looked in the camera, I saw line. I don't need that. I don't need it at all. I want this kind of. I want it to be, building, but I really want it vague. So, you remember our reference? I will show you that reference again. Don't worry, gosh. I'll show you again. Oh, gee, Fred. In fact, in a minute, I'll zoom out here. You can kind of compare what I've done to the reference. Those would have been those people. Whether they'll continue being people is debatable. That's a dead soldier. Sorry for the car noise. You can just tell when the trucks are coming by, eh? Yep, I like it. I love it. I like it. I love it. So, like, you don't need to figure out everything. Sometimes you do some random stuff with your brush, and then you start going, "That looks good. That looks good." And then you go, "Well, okay, that works out with it's kind of the roadmap and the reference." Remember I told you how many times we're going to do this tree here? Did I tell you? A lot. So, just get used to it. Oh, vague indications. Anyway, I don't particularly care for this song. Well, I gotta hear it a couple times a week now, so. Anyway, I like that. I think that's a good breaking point. I'll probably do a few other little things and then we'll come back. Got it. Paint's mixed. So we work some stuff out. We figure out some stuff we're gonna do. If we have a nice looking drawing, it could all up on its own. If we, keel over dead right now, that's good. There's gonna be like some highlights and things there. Don't worry. Yep, like that. Okay, let's zoom out a little so you can see this with the reference. That's what I've done. It's not perfect. I'm not a perfect painter, but it's pretty nice looking. I think it's nice. Certainly gives me inspiration, ideas. So coming up here, we popping in some of this ochre and then working in this and probably keep some transparent bits, but also bringing in more and more opacity, starting with the sky. Yeah. So we'll be back. You'll be Beethoven again. I gotta work in some. Doesn't make sense to get 2 minutes of this. Doesn't make sense. So. Anyway, we'll be back. And we're back. It's a little while later. Maybe a half hour or so. We're drawing. It's setting up. You could leave it like this and then come back. Again, sorry for the chair noise, the traffic noise, the sneezing, the nose blowing. What can I say? You know, we gotta do what we gotta do. At least I'm not eating on camera. That's not cool. All right, so every now and again in my other videos, you can see me going, not from the side, but it's all good. On a ridge there. I'm surprised what you can do with paper towel. You can get quite delicate. I'm real familiar with paper towels and what they can do. Yeah, so I don't need to mess with that much because what are we going to do now? You say I'm bored. Come on, I need information. This is a number 6. Seems kind of large, but is it too large? I don't know. Ah, I got a 4. Well, I mean, all it really means is I got to clean 2 brushes, so we don't need this one. We don't need that in my ear either. Well, given that, it's another cup of tea, by the way, different cup of tea, herbal tea now. Given that this is like really kind of one color, and I know me, I won't be painting just one color. I'll start a little darker at the top and then modulate. How's this feel? It feels too big, so forget that. Back in the... So I was debating. What do you do it for? Here's this color we mixed. I'm inclined to go in with that straight. So oil. I want to zoom in. Don't zoom in too tight though. Okay. So when I know, because I know sometimes I think you guys see stuff with the palette, but you're not. Funny enough, like this drawing is already in many ways the sort of coloration we want to end up at. So I'm not sure what we're going to do here. I feel like I want to bring in more opacity. We're going to do something though. We're going to start the sky, so it's okay not to know everything you're going to do. Already I feel like that's too blah. That's gone really green, which I don't really totally mind for this painting. So when I want to subtly get rid of some of the green, I go into that. Now there's a case where I could throw that paint away, wipe it off, or it's perfectly good paint. Perfectly good. That feels real green. I'm going to go into, remember I said we may not get into the burn umber. I think instead of going into, yeah, I like that better. I think instead of going into transparent earth red, I'll do that. So, hello.
Really?
I'm not worried about saving any of that tree. Maybe there'll be a ghost in it. So I'm all about modulating, even vertically and horizontally. I like modulating. This on the brush. We modulate to a little more of an orange. Yeah. It's a subtle modulation. All right. how I used to do things. I'll just show you. I saw some guy walking around the shop. Looks like he just disappeared. Alright. Series like this, we're going to lose some of that. It's okay. This is getting pretty. So one thing you can do here is, you know, if you scrape this up, you might have something that you could go into. This is not the place to make weird color changes because it's all the shapes in between. Could be a touch darker. Remember what I said the other day? The spaces in between trees, the tree holes and stuff, they're darker. That might have been a little too dark, but a little oil might be good here. Just get some transparency. I'll see some ghosts of what I had in mind. Even there. You don't want to get all you don't want to get like all groupy around the edges. Don't do it. Better off just making a clean statement over the top. Got some ghosts. Ghosts that told us where everyone is. So the purpose of doing the drawing wasn't wasted. Now, so we did a very subtle modulation horizontally into slightly more orange on this side, slightly more green here. Very subtle. I admit it's subtle. Oh, it's a good place to start. Also, this just popped into my head, but I feel like this tone down here I kind of want to match. So back into that burn number I said I probably wasn't going to use. Some oil. When you need movement, you need oil. We're really being pretty well supported by our color. And the other thing is here at the bottom of this, I'm going to go back into ochre. Which I did do some mixing with. It doesn't even look like it. Darker. Remember, all this cool stuff looks cool. That's one reason I like videotaping things, because I can always get some sort of image off of it if I needed to. Not going too thick here, but best to paint over it. Tempted not to. Been there many times. And if you can learn from my experience, do it. I'm going to do some modulation. Here, really just into lighter. Gonna wipe off our brush though too. It's getting gunky. I'm not that worried about what I'm gonna modulate. Watch out for your like a lot of horizontal strokes is gonna catch that light, so better off with something a bit more like that. Oil paint, the king of all media. Oh, in the old days, he used to call Howard Stern the king of all media. Maybe in his dreams. He was the king of radio, that's for sure. Okay. Room for all kinds of tree stuff there. So, this area, I think I'm just going to go in here with the regular sort of, this wasn't straight out ochre. I did mix some things into it. Oil. work our way into this. Now, that might seem quite yellow. It does. It's alright. So this is kind of a boring area, but we're introducing abstraction, we're introducing movement. What we're not doing is getting the paint roller out. Oh yeah, so someone was in the store. So sometimes you see when they go quiet, it's because the people that work here know that I'm doing videos. So they don't think I'm just mad talking to myself, but someone like might be walking into the store and they're not gonna know what's up. Is this too bright down here? I don't know. Well, I'm gonna do it. I've already done it, so. Sorry for that truck noise, car noise. They're motoring around. They're working. We're all working over here. I do pay attention to the direction of my strokes. So far I'm not into any white. I may not need any white for this. Could be one of those. And so far I'm not too bored with this. What do you call it? Limited palette. Sepia tone, ochre tones, ochre tone, limited palette. Yeah, good. You can see what's going on. When I slow down a little when it comes to the edges. Don't clean everything up, don't smooth everything out, or do it. Go ahead, mess it up, and then you'll learn. So one day you'll walk by it and you'll go, oh, it's terrible. And my mom told me it looked great. Good old mom. A little of this in there, because it's got to feel like it's one sky. So again, I'm smoothing, but I'm not over smoothing. I want some action, activity. It's an oil paint, for crying out loud. Right? It's an oil painting. And oil painting should have a variance in strokes. In general, I want this darker, so I'm going back into that burn umber. Burn umber! It's a subtle bit of red in that, but see, it's still lighter than other tone. I'm not gonna wet my brush. Sometimes that buildup of paint on your brush, it'll start working against you. Back into the oil too. I need movement. I'm not too worried about this guy. Although it's okay to kind of indicate it, work around it too. Like I've already sort of established that you won't just see the board color on each side of that tree because I was too scared to overlap it. You don't want to do that. Don't be scared. Don't be a coward. Painting, I'll tell you what, if you're a coward, you're in the wrong game. Painting is not for cowards. Painting is for brave people. Yeah. Too many decisions need to be made for cowards like this. Again, I don't want everything over smooth, overworked. In the reference, and there's a big temptation because in the reference it is it's almost as smooth as glass. I mean, there's subtle variation just from you can tell the noise from the photo and things. Liking that. And every now and again, like even if I have my glasses on, I am blurring my vision. I like it. So I think this one's going to go pretty quick. She might be. God, thank God, man. These 2-hour painting sessions, I can't take it. So what are we going to do here? I think into this, we've been using the burr number. I think we're going to do the raw umber, which will give us a different feeling. Related, but see, more greenish. And back into the burn, not too greenish. And then it's all too dark now too. I want to burn number better. Ochre, burn number, ochre mix. Am I gonna be able to figure this out or what? Wipe off my brush because I don't like the kind of strokes I'm getting. Even this, it might be time to consolidate this. When things get too spread around, you get diminishing returns. That's a term you've heard me say a lot. Diminishing returns. When you get diminishing returns, it is time to do something different. Right. So that color's a bit strong, but it's an honest color. Let's go with it. Now, the temptation would be great to do parallel strokes, and I probably will end up doing some. But by biting in like this, kind of, I like setting things up. Because I want a smooth transition there. Everything I'm doing with this same sky brush so far. I definitely I don't want that transition to be real distinct. I don't want any halos. I don't want you asking questions like, what's going on back there? If someone's asking you questions like, what's that? You've officially done a bad painting. Okay? Unless you're purposely being obtuse, and I don't see why you would be on this channel if that were the case. Yeah, so I've got some life going on there. I don't want everything overworked and over-perfected. That is not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is you gotta creep up on it. And by the way, I mean, you're watching this, you might be trying to learn how to paint. You might just watch for entertainment. I think it's extremely entertaining watching paintings get done. Just a note lighter there into the lighter ochre. Just a note. I want to subtle note lighter here. And I'm going to sacrifice all this. I know it's there. I know where I want it. All good. If I'm smart, I might even wait till second color pass. I'm not always that smart, don't worry. See? Take my time getting an edge there. Oh, this is what I was going to say. Like, so there was someone in the store, and the point I was going to make to you is learn this from old Bob Rowe, who's, if you're still alive, Bob, you're a great teacher, great painter. Get his book called The Painterly Way. He's more of an impressionist, neo-impressionist, but he'll teach us some great stuff, you know. And one of the main things he teaches you is that your brush is only going to give you one good edge at a time. So a lot of times you'll see me doing things like up here, I'm just concentrating it. I'm getting that one good edge. Maybe I'll go through and I'll soften it a little. I'm pretty happy with these edges. I could keep perfecting them, but the problem with that is the more you work on it, the more you're going to mess up what's good and potentially mess it up entirely. So you gotta, like, that's why I keep telling you, yeah, you get some great tips here. You're learning a lot here, but don't get cocky. You need to do a bunch of paintings. If you want to be a painter, you need to do a bunch of painting. You should be doing one every day. This size, smaller. You can do it. Keep it simple. Look at this limited palette thing we're doing. It's pretty simple. Now I'm seeing some board color there. I don't want it. Every now and again you might see me really slow down and think about things. Just people cruising in, cruising out. Cruise in. Why is it not? Oh, there we go. Pretty much just pure ochre. And interestingly, I think it might have been a touch of cad yellow. Yeah, good time to slow down. Keep the life though. Don't choke the life out. I like that sky, and I feel like there's going to be areas of transition here, so. Wipe the side knife off, because see a little speck like that, you don't want to mess everything up. You can just get rid of that little bits and specks. I've wiped the paint off my brush. I like that. I like it. You didn't know I was going to do that, did you? I'm full of tricks. I could do this for a year. You guys, I'll keep pulling things out of my hat. Watch me. Just watch me. I got a million. Okay. Why not? Because we could. Cool jerk. Okay. Stupid son. Hey Jordan, how you doing?
Good, thank you. You making on here?
No, I'm just very
Oh, I'll be showing you what I'm doing. Hey buddy! Hello! Hello!
Yeah, no, the flower shop uses the room. The room right next door to my studio as a little storage deal. It's getting a little noisy, so I thought, no, let's just turn off the camera. Times we hold the breath, yes. Okay. No, thing is here. Hello,
Hi,
how you doing? Good.
I'm just browsing.
Okay, good out. Let me know if you need any help.
Hello, Hello.
I don't want to be trapped here. I don't want to be trapped. So if you're patient, you can come into this, paint some awesome trees right over the top. I think that's what we're going to do. So we'll be able to hold on to this. We'll be able to use a little bit more of my trees, which don't always work. If you're curious, that was a brush that has black in it. I'm not going to try and do that over the wet yellow paint. It's just going to make a mess. Nice. This is getting a bit weird here.
Thank you.
Yep, have a good one. Getting too weird. Also, it was a little big. So, yeah, like old Bob Rome said, one good edge. Don't worry about the other edges, just worry about the good edge that you can get. That's why you can use a brush like this to get some nice edges. I do like the edge, but not good at integrate it. I don't want it too firm, too facey. Like that. Like this. Got a little matrix of emotive whatevers. Like that. This is an area where I probably will do some scumbling. So by starting abstract and then gradually smoothing and not over smoothing, we have some variance, but we can tell it's a nice smooth sky too. So that's how you do it, folks. That's how you paint just a plain boring sky. Notice that. And I will zoom out for you again, I promise. In the reference, so it's all just one colored block. Same here, all one. So what I'm doing now is just, I don't want strokes that are too eye-catching. In the water you can get away with a lot more horizontal strokes, because we know how water reflections are vertical or horizontal. Nice. 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 And nice. Okay. Yeah, I think I can move to a smaller brush now. Done all the big shapes with the bigger brush. I see something. Now I take my eyes off. I look up. I see something. I see things. Kind of a dark patch there. I don't want it. And so just come in with the yellow. And this is probably from being a little mincy around this thing here. I'm not going to get too nuts with that either with the Q-tip or the swamp, because it'll get too thick and I want it quite thin. So that's perfect. Just leave it. Do not try and do everything at once. Alright, so you can see we've only used one of the colors we made. So we have all these. This is for the entire ground. To tell you the truth, I think I could just use the same larger brush. Oh yeah, wait a minute, I'm looking at these strokes now. What I don't like is how they're taking on that sort of diagonal thing. Just gonna bring that up. Yeah, just a little smaller brush. These are all. That's a 2. 2 would be good. Have a little T. see some kind of halo action here. I don't want. Yes, very nice. Okay. Okay, where's my other knife? You want to zoom out for a minute, you say? Okay, fine. Good. Whatever you want. Alright. So that's where we're at. You can see we started to opaquify. Right. Oh, this will look brilliant with some scumbling over the top later, but don't try and do everything at once. We set up the stage to do some scumbling. So this is another natural breaking point. We've done the sky, we've done the water, because the water is the same basic colors. Right? Remove water. Hello. Yeah, good breaking point. Okay, we're back. Went to the restroom. It seems just boring here. Need some variance. Because we keep messing around with that roof, right? Although there will be a bunch of tree branches there. I just don't like areas of my painting that are all like smoothed out. Who needs that? That sounds boring. You don't want to create boring paintings. If you create boring paintings, you're going to bore people. Who's going to want to buy your boring ass painting? Oh, is that swearing? Sorry. I'm sorry. I try and keep this channel family friendly. Okay, I'm not going to do it, but so yeah, I went to the refreshment station. The restroom, in other words. And when I came back, I noticed it looks really close to this already, you know? We're retaining branches here we don't want. I'm going to get rid of most of this because I want to have the ability to do cool things when it's over the dry painting. You'll see, it'll pay off. Well, I mean, I'm saying you'll see. I mean, yeah, we'll keep some of it, but I'm happier with that now. Happy with this. I can keep picking away at this for days, and eventually I'll have it smooth as glass. I just look for blotchy bits that catch my eye. I don't mind some blotchiness because that, like I said, that variant says oil painting. You want that? Okay, I'm going to keep using my sky brush, but no, I'm not. I changed my mind. Yeah, 2. Okay, remember this? It's a mixture of raw umber. I'm feeling now like I'm going to bring in some of that burnt umber and black. It was a mixture of raw umber and black. I really don't want too much black though. Okay, so what this points out is that I'm going to wipe this off. Points out I've got to put my blacks in first, my real blacks, which are only going to be really here, very little there, a little here. There's a lot of trees and things that you can see in the reference. Yeah, I'm not going to try and paint a lot of that right now. I'm going to try and keep a lot of this, but so instead of what I was doing, which was this, I'm going to go over into here, get some oil and wipe my brush off. I don't care if it's got a little bit, it's not 100% black. don't care too much. Although in one sense, because I just wiped my brush off, I am basically cleaning my brush with oil, which could get expensive. Back into the oil, more movement. This gentleman, you've got your bearings now. Don't worry, I'm not going to do this again, although I will before this session's done. Slowing down a little. Really slowing down. If I go too fast there, what's going to happen is just more streaks. It's really time to just kind of get it about where I want it. Like that. I really slow it down because right now it's totally all about what I want to keep is gold there because so much of it's looking cool just with just the addition of the black. It's been a pretty good studio. I mean, there is a bit of that noise going on, but I'm going to be careful here because I want this kind of like a little bit of a vague straight thing indicated, but just doing that, not getting crazy. So you can actually end up removing paint. There's a very little paint in my brush. Okay. Most of the texture here is being created with my brush work. Remember when we did that with the swab? I like it. I want to keep it. Here, you remember now too, these are back here, they're little buildings, but I'm making them trees. I'll tell you why. You maybe go why. Maybe you'd be the one to pull off the, I could pull off the buildings, not a problem, but the reason I decided against it was it's just like you're going to ask questions. Are those buildings? That's actually going to be a whole other color, and it's fairly opaque color. It's going to be an approach like that with a note darker. As beautiful as the transparency is, it's going to just seem like a hole in the painting if I keep it. Whereas a lot of this I can keep, and I'll come in with a few lighter notes and it'll look awesome. Just paint inside the brush, so every now and again if I need more, just bear down. Okay, so this was, remember our job when we started was, again, I don't want halos around my trees because I'm worried about losing something. So every now and then you've got to always got to be aware of that. You don't want, because you're worried about losing your drawing. Don't need two of these. One's good. I will leave a lot of that. In fact, I probably will do a bit more of this in the second pass, which I know there will be. Wiping out the brush. So those little marks, those are nice, but they're too in your face. So just softening up a little with the brush wiped off. Never be afraid to sacrifice some nice little thing in your painting. Okay. So that was all black. All black. Wipe that off. Now, like I intended, back into this, but there was no point in getting into this. That's bringing in some opacity. Let's go ahead and show you what I'm up to here. A little orange, just to counteract that green. Remember, that's got to be darker. That's kind of, you can see the gray in it. So I'm going to pick up some red from the burn umber. So I'm feeling like that cool gray aspect in there. I'm not loving that. It's okay, we'll get there. Don't worry, don't worry. If I need to, I will start just pushing this mix. Actually, I think I can get out of it with the orange. It's just got enough reddish quality in it. Yeah, that's fine. And a bit more of this ochre up here too. So it's got to be a distinctly different color from the mountains in the back. Notice here too, same kind of thing. I'm not just going swipe. I want that edge to be broken and natural feeling. Sometimes that means slowing down, sometimes it means catching things with the little hairs of your brush. I don't want to go too high. Yeah, I like that color. I felt like I went a little too high there, or maybe I just didn't go down far enough before. I have a little of that on my palette, so. And I do recommend dealing with these things as you notice them, because a lot of times what happens is you'll just move on and you'll forget. So, I like that. I told you this one was going to go pretty quick. Alright, so going into this other gray, but it's already occurring to me it'll be too cool without some of this orange added, which isn't making it any darker. That's nice. And it should still be a distinctly different color. So I'm modulating, if you're wondering what I'm doing. I don't want to just do everything one color. Modulate, modulate, modulate. In fact, when I'm painting, you could peer inside my brain, which you kind of are. I'm sort of just giving you my interior dialogue anyway here. If you peer inside my brain, you hear me going modulate, modulate. Yeah. Not too smooth. In fact, if I need to, I might just come in and make a few semi-random marks and then make an effort to kind of integrate them. It has some real interesting tree stuff going on over all this, so I don't need to get too nuts there. Also, if I feel like I'm losing, it's getting boring, I have to, I'll just briefly go back into that dark. I don't need that exciting back there, but I don't like expanses that just blah. Alright, that's got to have a little ochre in it. See that little bump there? I like it. What's going on back here? Vague, because I tell you why. We're gonna have like tree branches and things going on over that. People aren't gonna ask questions. I mean, I've already kind of resolved it a lot more than is apparent from the reference. And again, just a reminder, we're planning on scumbling this in the future. What I'm doing now, though, is giving it a similar effect by just papping it with a lighter color, kind of paps. That's called papping. It's a technical term. It is. Trust me. I'm a professional. You know how you can tell if you're a professional artist? People give you money for your stuff. That's it. You've been paid, you're a professional. Well, some of it's attitude as well. Like, if I do business with someone and they're not happy in any way, shape, or form, I make sure they're happy. Because I'm a professional. Alright, liking that. I even like this, how this gray is coming in here. It's nice. It's all working together. We're employing things. Now, it's time to go ahead and get this worked out. This is kind of like that color. And we've already sort of detected that it's too gray, it's too cold, so we'll warm it up with the orange. That's lighter than I want to be, so let's grab the rest of that. If I need to, I might even grab a dot of that transparent earth red. Because while I am on a limited palette here, I'm not pedantic about it. So now you want to be careful, keep nice edge quality, edge feeling. Sometimes it's a matter of just slowing down. And I will do this fairly. See these globs of paint on my brush? I gotta get that off. Or it would have messed me up here. So if you remember you can get one good edge with each stroke and you're patient, you can use a brush like this to get pretty good. Like that. You don't want your edges overworked, like you struggled. Although you want a bit of the story of their creation, like this will have the whole story of its creation from the drawing stage on up. Like that. And I do want this pretty uniform because this will probably be another area where I'll do a bit of a scumble. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I decided to bring in, so every now and again I'll bring in something that doesn't belong, it's a little rogue, and work it out, because this just creates interest. I don't want this too flat. Yeah. And you know, I gotta hold my breath. Sometimes Yeah, looks good. It's not overworked. I'm not going to overwork it now either. Oh, swell. You can see how we're pulling the transparency gradually into opacity, and yet we are retaining quite a lot of transparency as well. So it's all good. The whole story is there. Alright, so at the spot where I have decided to go a little darker, we used to pull that other color, but I can just get a little black in this. Yeah. It's basically was just a creation of black and raw umber. Impressions. Not impressionism. Impressionism. Getting some ochre elements. Opaque. Kind of have tree stuff going on there, so. Sometimes you just want to make sure not everything's razor smooth or whatever, but just that you've set a bed where you can do some other interesting things over the top. Okay, back into this this tone I mixed, which is a little cooler, but I don't want to go in with the orange there. I want to move it into, I'm going to go into ochre instead. Why? Because I want a point of difference. I want a little point of difference. I want a little extra dimension. So this would have been some kind of black and white photo, which, you know, the black and white photos were sepia before they got into clean black and white. This is not the focal point back here, so one thing's kind of vague. I gotta go into that permanent orange. I wanted a few cool bits there, but so be patient. This is moving along. Pardon me. Pretty quick. Down here, I don't know. I feel like it should be darker. I'm gonna just come into this mix though, and this is in my brush, so it won't be anywhere near black, but darker and vague. And you'll see, we'll put some over the top of this to make it all work out. Yeah, liking that. Well, you want to see what I'm talking about? Right. Here we go. Like this kind of thing. So the darks underneath create something that we can work with. Vague. It's all vague. We all know that sound, don't we? Well, maybe not all of it. My wife being funny. She's hilarious. Yeah, liking this. And you know, we know we're going to do a second pass, so sometimes you just kind of set things up. I set up little problems, and then in the process of smoothing them out, I have some interest. Whereas if I just done nothing but okay, yeah, I'm 16. Some branches here, so I want to set up a little bit of a branch thing. I like this, I'm keeping it. So, and when I want to retain transparency, oil is my friend. Those interruptions are good. Don't think you can't be interrupted. You can be interrupted. Get over yourself. Now, I can tell you that because I'm working in a capacity as your teacher. You know, your partner might not be able to tell you that. $3:30 here. Okay. These are eye-catching, but I want something there. I just want it vague. It's all quite nicely vague now, and sorry, I have another one. Let's move over here. So, the reference, this is a darker bit, and I still have my darker brush, and I still have some dark here, and a little blue. I don't want it super dark. I don't want it anywhere near as dark as this, but I gotta kind of finish what I started with that drawing. And it's always a good idea to have your darks underneath your other colors, because that's how it works in real life in nature. The shadows are usually behind things, underneath things. I'm liking that. I think I was getting ready to paint in there, but I think I'll leave it. I like it just the way it is. I'm glad that happened. I might even take a second and it's maybe not enough paint there to go through. I'm thinking there's not, but there's not. So We'll make discretion a better part of valor there, but. And a story. In this case, it's a story of a building. There's going to be trees and things coming through here. Don't get too tweaky with that right now. Back over here, in this kind of darker color. Sort of transparent too. And one thing just popped in my head is I might just kind of merge it in here. Yeah, you see, I can always pop some of those opaque notes over the top, but there's so many branches in my reference that when I pop these branches on this, it's going to make it. It's going to make it. It's gonna make it. So back over here. Remember, I just put in things there to interrupt the smoothness of it, you know, and so I come back bit by bit and work it out, but there's a texture there now. It's not just all one boring thing where you consciously made a point to paint something over the top. That's the other thing I want to tell you. It's like, you know, your conscious mind has got its uses, and definitely with painting it has its uses, but don't overestimate its value. Your unconscious comes up with a lot better ideas sometimes. So this gray, umbery color mixed, I just brought in some permanent orange. It's too light for there, but I thought a few notes up there would be good. So remember here, there is some paint there. It's just all spread out. Just want to darken this down. I like the basic color, oil, and more of this and more black. Just plain black. I kind of got floppy here. Okay, it all adds up to the story of the painting. Yep. Like that. I need some of this burnt umber here. I got to, things are going a little green. And so remember, like 90% of what we're doing here is straddling the area between the red and the green. And this is what's creating a lot of interest with our painting too, is that we have these reddish tones. We have these greenish tones. The reds aren't too red. The greens aren't too green. I just went to a little of my ochre pile. I don't want to get tweaky with that, but I see things. I fix them. Even still here, more of this. The burnt umber, which is not cutting it, or the anti-greenifying effects. So 90% of the reason that the permanent orange is on my palette is to degreenify effects. You subtly, you know. I still know where this color is. Well, it kind of harkens back there Something like a glaze too over this would help unify these the grays versus the reds versus the what have you. But for my part, I'm going to bring some burnt umber into the orangey mix. And come here and finish this. And I still have bits of ochre up here. I don't want a harsh edge against this river. Also, I don't want it too smooth. Trying to retain some transparency. Just for entrance, because I know I'm going to end up retaining a lot over here. Now I've got to come over here and slow down into the ochre, into the permanent orange. Yeah. What is that stuff up here? I don't know. It's brush and butt brush and what have you. Put it in, take it out, something stays with it. Sometimes I slow way down and I get real close. Okay, I really want there's a red peeking up, transparent red. I mean, for the paint, the color I'm painting on top. So I'm actually going into transparent red here with some oil and into the mixture I have. Because that occurs to me, that might be, so I'm sort of painting in a color right now that is similar to the color of the board underneath that's peeking through transparently. Is it too light? Because I added some umber. I didn't tell you about that. I'm sorry I kept secrets from you. Here you go. Okay. Started with the transparent red. Brought in some of this burnt umber. Brought in some of this. Brought in some ochre. Basically just trying to get into real reds. Not strong reds, but things that can help me integrate the transparency of the oil. The transparency of the ground color. See? It's like the same color. Because what's occurring to me is like everything looks too spotty. So so vague, isn't it? Ochre into that mix just for a few cleanups here. Here I'm looking just to break up any kind of pipey effects. The bane of my existence. Not so much now because I got experience, yo. Not so much now. Watch out for like where drawing shapes come out of, like things like that. It's worth it. Just to dip into some plain old ochre again. I don't know what's going to happen with this brush. And make sure that's actually clean. I think it's worth it because a roundness off there, it just won't be right. Oil. This is burn umber into that mix. And I'm going to step back a little. I'm going to move my palette. I want to get my arm over here. I need to make some bigger marks. Not like that though, that looks terrible, but it's okay. Keep that. You know what I'm going to say now. If you're watching the channel on your regular, you know what I'm going to say now. Won't keep that good thing. So a bit of smoothing just with the dry brush, pulling things together. You don't want everything so spotty. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to reintroduce some spottiness. Don't forget there's going to be trees over this and stuff, so I need an area that basically is kind of just set up. As fascinating as all this stuff is, it's got to get tied together a little. So we have to sacrifice. Always be willing to sacrifice. The ultimate sacrifice. So that means you're willing to sacrifice some of your cool little tweaky stuff. In some big shapes like this, which you can modify, but we've established them as big shapes now. So this is what I was saying a minute ago, or an hour ago, who knows. This is not a game for cowards, you know? You gotta be brave. Granted, I mean, it's not death that is going to be the penalty for making mistakes. It's just bad painting. You have to live with yourself. The fact you're not so great. I had a bunch of wonderful little bits of stuff going on there, but I need to sacrifice for simplicity. Same deal here. Not smoothing exactly. Unifying. I don't like that. That's a little too light. I want to go into the. That's just raw umber, straight up. Raw umber is very neutral. So you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose that good thing you had. But from where I'm sitting, things have to be unified. So we'll lose, but then we'll go back. We know what we're doing. We're under control. We're not exercising a lack of control. This has got to be like that there. So sometimes here it's very faint dry brushing that is creating some smoothing and blending. And there's a bit of paint in the brush. Be willing to sacrifice cool stuff in the name of the big picture. And so how am I knowing what the big picture is? Well, I'm blurring my vision. I'm liking it though. I'm liking it. Here again, another spot for shape creation. You know, I got a color in my palette I haven't even used yet, that light color. Don't even know if I'm gonna. It could be just a waste. And all of that. I think I have a brush here with just yellow on it, yeah. I just don't want to forget about it either. I don't want a real distinctive shape, and yet I don't want a little ball, right? It all adds up. Everything adds up. I'm liking it. It's getting some depth now. This can be real fun to paint because it's not that distinctive. Okay, remember I was talking about that red I wanted to make just to fill in for you know, where the painting is coming up underneath, but it has a slightly different texture. So a little more of that now. Just not exactly plugging holes. But paying attention to how things feel. This painting's looking really nice. I think it's nice. Down sometimes. I want to retain some of this groovy stuff, but it can be strategic. So this is a very light touch. Now here, there's like some stuff on the road. Oh, this paper towel just getting me dirty. There's stuff on the road. Yeah, black. I may as well use some of this stuff because I don't even know if I'm gonna get any of that. But that's okay. Remember, I was talking about how I didn't need it, and then I mix it anyway. That's alright. This is boring now because we made it boring. We had a lot of interest there, but we had to sacrifice it. There was too much interest. We could bring in a few little bits though on top. Now that we've created a shape that we can modify. Same deal here. We created this kind of big shape, which was really interesting before, but it was too interesting. There was too much going on. It's too distracting. Same kind of deals going on here too. This is too. And I am talking about the roads. I'm gonna get back to it, but sometimes I take my eyes off and I look and I notice something. So this road has got like, oh well, I don't know if that red would be good here too. So a little bit of ochre. I'm actually running out of ochre, but will I have enough to finish this painting? No. No. Put that old Holland. Road. I'm still thinking on the road. I'm still working on the road. I just had to get some. I gotta have a point of difference from where the brush is. So that's pretty close to the color I had. It's a little. I was really thinking something a little darker. Coming in with this burnt umber. Oh yeah. No. That's a little darker than I want to be, but also I've been wanting to reconcile this too. I haven't been thrilled with the. I want that dark there. So what am I thinking on being this at the game? I'm a road. I'm a road. Hey. You were wondering and now you know. I'm a road. I'm a road. Try it. That's why I look like a road. Don't overdo it. This looks nice. And I don't need much of the underneath color coming up there. To a large degree, a lot of what I'm doing is just trying to keep some of that transparency coming up, but also have things integrated. Yeah, I could have. I knew actually if you go back to the beginning of the video, I talked about the challenges that I knew were coming as far as the transparency versus the opacity versus the whatever. I'm really happy with my road now. That's a little facey, that one ball yellow, but I don't want to overdo it because I am pretty happy with that. And I don't like little bits close to the edge. I'm liking it. We got to put a few fingerprints in so that it can be authentically identified as my painting by historians. Just don't want that too black right now. I want to have options later. That's good. So yeah, you know, so I hold my breath when I do that kind of thing. How can I get away with that? Well, there's very little paint on my brush. Probably not a great plan. Better off doing that with the ochre. When the ochre color I have on my palette being this hallway, it's a little different. So I added a little bit of like cat yellow. dreamy right now. I just don't want this facey. A feather light touch. And just keeping in mind that I want to have options coming up. Although, no, I want no options. Yes, I do. But I am going to come in with the black and do just a few things because I don't like to leave my painting ugly. I've been doing a lot of this long drag thing. I think the thing to do now is slow down and get a little closer. I don't have enough paint on my brush. I notice with a lot of my students that's one of their big problems all the time. They're trying to pull things off. They don't have enough paint. Probably still don't. So when you're trying to make moves and nothing's happening, and it's okay that my black's not super clean. That's kind of the idea. More black, more oil. Slow. Yes, I'm holding my breath. I like the way that feels. I'm not going to get too crazy right now. There are other things I'd like to do, but one thing is, go back and reinforce the edge of my road. Now there's a story back here, like of some paint I can work on top of. So my black's not just sitting there. Get some random points of difference there. So you can do there. I know it's too much. It's okay. Don't worry. Yeah, we had this looking super neat and interesting, but it was too odd of a combination of opaque and transparent. So we're coming back in now and rebuilding. I don't want to kill her, but that's not a big deal. Don't worry. Not a big deal. Look, come right on. Kind of got to do the same thing a little bit with the black. It's looking too spotty. So what I would tell you there is you want to, you got too much oil. I'm just going to write in straight paint. To wipe off this brush. This paper toast. This one. So, I'm going to take my glasses off too. What's going to happen here is some connecting. connecting your shadow shapes. You don't want to create a polka dot painting. You can have your shadow shape connected and then break it up. Totally fine. I'm going to paint right through this. So, you may have perfect vision, in which case I recommend that you blur your vision, squint your eyes so that you're just seeing big shapes. Not through the whole painting. It's good to do some of it like that. We have a lot of inserting because of the oil and the black and the transparent nature of the black. We're retaining some of the interesting stuff that was below, but we're also unifying, connecting. Telling a story. I've been wondering what I was going to do here. I think what I'm going to do here is just have kind of a dark shape that goes in. So that's one of the reasons I like landscape painting, is that you can really almost, I mean, if it looks good and it works, you can get away with changing all kinds of things. You can change values that were light in the dark, like this tree in the reference is dark. I made it light because I like it. Breaks are good, because look, I see this thing, I kind of see that. Also, these are ugly. You're wondering, how are they going to make this work? Well, a lot of times in painting, it's all about getting lost, getting found. We have a lot of transparency in this black. But all in all, I'd say this painting's been going pretty well. Pretty happy. Yeah, so here, I don't get too tweaky, but sometimes you gotta get it like this. You gotta wiggle the black a little to get the black in here. Second pass, I got some plans, big plans. A scratch, one of the weapons in our arsenal. You know, a lot of what I'm doing is just kind of sliding around. There's a lot of oil on this. It's okay. Wiggle this tree a little thicker, and this will be my edge. A good edge is the outside. like it. Now, in the other final version, I may get into some other things, but so what we've done here is we've connected our blacks. I want to create some shapes. Connecting shapes. You want to do it. You don't want polka dots. You can modify them afterwards. You can break them up a little if you got to. And you do. You probably got to. But they should, like from a distance, they should connect. Which is the reason for me removing my glasses. A little more of that over here. I got black in my brush, but I'm going to add some burn over. I mean, there's a lot going on. There's a whole painting right now with my palette, so this feels very dark here. Don't want it. You know, we know we're going to do a second pass, so if we want some things darker, we can. Alright, so last thing is, I've had this a little bit darker in value than in the reference, so I think it's time to, I don't know, maybe go ahead and use some of this stuff I mixed. Seems very green. Counteract that with our, you know, we don't want a bunch of, you know, junk on our brush. So a lot of times I will mix that color. It's like, again, it's sort of a waste of paint. I could probably maybe do that with a knife, but moving it over into here with this. So when you bring one element into another, it has an impact. That's a subtle. I need some oil on that. It's too stiff. I want to just make some little spots. Remember the Corot thing we were doing? So, little Corot spots. And again, too, you got to connect sometimes your highlights as well, because not as much as those shadows. I'm telling you. Not so much there. I have a bunch of tree stuff going on here. I'm going in with that permanent orange just into, I don't know, here. I like my more distant tree shapes to be flattened out. I like a certain amount of variance, but simplify. And kind of like the sky, there's some variance there, but it's not all one, totally flat, but it does look sort of flat, especially from a distance. that. So what word, what expression is going through my brain right now? It is faux detail. Everything in the painting is faux because I suppose the exception might be a abstract painting, because completely abstract painting. An abstract painting is designed to just be regarded as an abstract. I don't like big blurry bloppy spots. Sometimes I might just put something to break things up. A good way to avoid that, like a lot of times that happens because you maybe could have had more oil in your brush. I don't love this, but I think I will in one sec. Favorite gel can do things for you. That your brush could never do. Was this my dark brush? Oh, dang it. Alright, I still got like this one that was only black in it, so every now and again you don't want to mud, so you don't want to have mud in your brush. It's been pretty different for me. I see things. I see that, like, we definitely don't want that too thick there. The color just fixed it might have been too light. It's not detail, folks. You just think it's detail. It's not really detail. Right now, actually, I'm just kind of evening things out. One of the things that made our reference image so cool was like how flat things were. So I want variance. I want flatness with variance, though. That's my thing. I mean, if you were to make a painting after this, got this brush. This brush is not contaminated either. A bit like carving. Sometimes like that's that river in the distance. How far does it go? Oh. Ready to monitor was getting ready to turn off. Yeah, I like that. That's good. And then here, forget this branch. Don't care about that. Plus sacrifice branch. Same deal goes for here. I'm gonna leave it, a lot of it, but I want to make sure that no parts of it are overly thick. A lot of very subtle differences in color going on here. You don't want too bright up next to the edge of your waterline. This was a good move here. I was breaking this up, and I think I can bring it down a little more. I don't want that all round and horsey looking. Not that horses aren't nice looking, they're wonderful looking, but dry brushing, totally different effect on smooth board. Nice though, nice. I'm getting to the point where I'm thinking, yeah, I don't want to go any further. So let's get our glasses back on. So a lot of times when I'm there, I might just start doing a little. I like all this. Hey. Right, that's it. Yeah. So now someone come in. But we're done. We're done. I mean, I could keep picking at it. It's good for now. Great place to leave it. Yeah. And a glaze over the top, some other things. It'll be good. But thank you for joining me today. I'll be back real soon with another video. Meanwhile, please take good care. Stay out of trouble. Want to get paint on the thumb? A little. Yeah. All right. See ya.